Say hi, Phil.
Hi.
Is here with this box, which is our box of olive oil dreams that we do every year now. How long have we been doing this now? A few years.
A long time.
Yeah. You've been doing it longer.
I mean, yeah, but we've been together for a long time. This is great.
But this is not only did Phil and his fabulous wife Helena make this house possible, basically, because Helena was responsible for basically, I was our real estate agent and got us this house, and these guys is the best family. But then Phil has discovered. Well, you should explain it to them. You'd be better explaining.
What have I discovered?
Here, I'll come back. So you started going to Italy, and you've started like you're like an olive oil. You're the olive oil bandit now. You're like the guy.
I'm an olive oil bandit.
You know everything about olive oil. You've done this amazing documentary called
Obsessed with Olive Oil.
Obsessed with Olive Oil, which is available
on Vimeo.
On Vimeo.
On Vimeo right now.
Is it like free? You just go and watch it, or you?
It's going to be free soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not forcing you to make it free.
No,
it's
going to be free soon.
Phil says it's free because I just twisted his arm. But olive oil, he's not just kidding. He doesn't just make documentaries. In fact, he never made a documentary before. He was asking us about it, and we were telling him, well, the business does this and the business does that. Phil's like, screw this. I'm going off. I'm just going to go make my own movie, and I guess I'll just have to host it myself. And he does this amazing, it was so much fun to watch, but even better, it tastes really good because, let's open it up. How do we open it? Do I need a knife or something?
We need a knife.
There you go, knife right there. There you go, got it. All right, so Phil's got a knife, but don't be worried. Here we go, we're opening it up. Here we go. This is it. Okay, don't let our really dull knives throw you off. This is actually really exciting. Here we go.
Here we go. 2021, this 4 weeks ago.
Look at that.
4 weeks ago, it was olives.
4 weeks ago, this was on a tree. It is now the most beautiful. Look at this. Look at this.
And that is one of the groves.
Oh, that's actually, it's not a painting? Oh my God.
No, it's a picture. A friend of mine from childhood, actually.
Look at this.
Florence.
Oh my
He
God.
came over and took that picture. Yeah.
Look at that compared to this. There's that?
That's not a fair shot.
Oh, there's this. Phil, why did you come home?
I don't know. I like home. Home is good. Family's here.
But this stuff, seriously, I'm sorry, this is not an ad, by the way. I'm not affiliated in any way other than the fact that I just absolutely love this stuff. This olive oil is it changed my life because I suddenly discovered that olive oil is kind of like wine.
Yeah, I like to say it's not olive oil, it's olive oils. Meaning that
already
you think that they're all created equal, but they're not.
No, and they're so not. So we have this we would just buy the usual. What do we just buy? This usual stuff. We just get let's get extra olive oil. What is extra virgin? Which I've never quite understood. What does that even mean?
Extra virgin?
Yeah.
So an extra virgin olive oil means that it's olive oil that can't be touched by anything. Can be added. Cannot be adulterated by any kind of. It's basically freshly squeezed raw olive juice. That's an extra virgin, and it cannot have a defect.
So the olives have got to be perfect, and they can't be manhandled in any way.
Yeah, it's basically any.
You
oil,
shake them off the tree, and then what happens?
Yeah, so any oil that goes through a mill is considered a virgin olive oil.
Okay.
And then depending if it has defects or the amount of defects, is classified as extra virgin or lampante.
What's a defect in an olive oil?
So a defect is Imagine.
Poor Phil. He just came for coffee. And I'm grilling him. I'm totally grilling him.
So one of the most common defects that we find in grocery stores is that olives get amassed. So ideally, think about a fresh fruit that you take from a tree.
Yeah.
If you have a freshly squeezed OJ, you want the orange to be very fresh.
Yeah.
And you want it to be squeezed right away. You don't want it to be sitting on the ground for 2 weeks or a week.
Yeah, it gets that
and then get the juice out.
Yeah.
So a lot of the olive oil on the market is olives that are amassed because it's cheaper. You harvest, you amass the olives, and then you mill them all at once.
Right.
To do a good olive oil, you want to harvest. You want to pick and harvest as quick as you can.
A good olive oil.
So we're looking at, and I looked at it too.
Yeah, you were good. And nice. I was I'm cute. I felt like I was the cameraman.
You want to harvest quickly because it's a fruit, and as soon as you pick it from the tree, it starts oxidizing, it starts fermenting.
Yeah.
So you want to go as quickly as you can. So an extra virgin olive oil is an olive juice, if you will, that goes through the mill that has no defects.
And so this is do you have to do anything to preserve this or anything, or do you just literally just put it in the bottle and seal it?
Well, the number. No,
That was not Phil, by the way. That was the dog making that noise. Just to be very clear, that odd stomach-like noise was actually It was actually Huzzah or Jane, one of the two. Yeah. My arm's getting shaky. I have to put this down. Here, let's do that. There we go. Oh, look at that.
Look at
and
that.
what if I do this? There you go. Oh, there you go. Now, Phil. Okay, so this is being. It's being shaken off the tree.
Yeah.
It's being crushed and squeezed.
Extracted.
Extracted. Is that it? Literally just squishing it? Like that's...
Yeah, you cut it with hammers or knives. You cut the olives, and then it goes through a malaxing phase where you get the paste and you get the aromas. And then from there it goes to decanter that separates the solid with the liquid.
Is the solid like the pits?
Yeah, the pits and like becomes the sansa, like the...
Sansa.
Yeah, like the...
Even that sounds good. Even
I think in English it's called pumice. I know.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
And then from there, the liquid part, then you separate the water from the oil.
Okay.
So you go through an additional centrifuge, and then you filter. And then you filter because you want oil to be filtered.
Right. So that's why I'm not seeing like chunks of olive.
That's right.
All right. So that's not a sign of quality if you see chunks of olive.
Well, I mean, it's cool and it's romantic when you see the...
that's true. Yeah.
When you see the chunks, but you want to consume it right away because that's going to oxidize and help the rancidity of the oil really fast, right?
So how long do I have to drink this? I mean, to eat.
Okay, so once you open the bottle,
yeah.
So I mean, these are bottled under nitrogen, so there's nitrogen in here to
Okay.
keep the oxygen away and keep it long.
Right. So stop from oxidizing in the.
Stop from oxidizing in the bottle.
Science, folks.
So you can't get away from time. Time will eventually turn it rancid.
Right.
Now, if
you and me both.
Yeah. I'm becoming rancid every single week.
Every time we see Phil, he's more and more rancid, really.
So if you keep it closed, you can go 18 to 24 months closed at around, but you want to keep it dark place, cool place.
Oh.
No heat.
Okay, I'll close it up right now.
No heat, no light.
Okay, no heat, no light.
No oxygen. If you open it, you're introducing oxygen.
Jane, make that box work.
I'd say 4 to 6 weeks before you notice any difference.
Really?
But probably even longer. I mean, this is a lot of polyphenols, so it's really bitter and spicy, and those would be the first thing to fight rancidity.
That was the thing that blew me away, was that, like, I'm used to this oil that had this, it was oil. Like, it was just, that was it. It had an oily, there was no taste to it, per se, as it was just like, and then this stuff showed up. It was even pre this, was it? Was it, you weren't even started that yet.
What do you mean?
Yeah. When you started the test, when you're doing all the tasting stuff?
Yeah.
You started at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You'd always had the Grove, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize you always had the Grove. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, we've been rejuvenating groves for a long time now. Yeah.
Well, and we were just talking about Phil about what, like, he was just talking about how there's just not a lot of, there weren't a lot of olives this year. Was it because between climate and also people not being able to? Yeah.
So what happened this year was that sometime in April, when the flowers started to bloom and started to come on the trees, so about 1% of the flowers that you see on an olive tree will become olives.
Huh.
Wow.
Only 1%?
About 1 to 2%, yeah.
Huh.
Wow.
There was a massive drop in temperature. So the average temperature over 2 days was about -7 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but
Just
Don't know
freaking
Fahrenheit
cold.
either.
Too cold for an
Yeah.
olive. Too cold for our olives.
too cold. So the trees
Yeah.
started thinking it was wintertime, so they stopped. They stopped their growth. They started conserving energy.
Right.
And then following that, it went, this is like sometime in April, it went straight to basically summertime temperatures. It went to 35
So like
Fahrenheit,
here, it's
no
like-
rain for 3 months.
Right.
So whatever flowers, a lot of them burnt off even from the heat. They wouldn't.
So you're not getting nearly the yield. You had like how much of the yield? Like of like 100%.
I think we're like, I mean, some of the grows were like -90%, -85%.
Does this mean we're paying through the nose for this? Is that like is this much more expensive?
You can blame transport for that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, where does transport? But you were saying that transport was very possible as long as you paid for it. I should look this way, otherwise people won't hear about it. So you were saying that I'll talk to Little Phil over here on the phone.
Little Phil.
Little Phil. But you were saying that you didn't actually have huge problems as long as you're willing to pay for it. There were routes to get this stuff.
Yes.
Right.
It was very smooth. It was very good transport. It was very expensive, but it happened.
Okay, so the thing that really got me into this originally was obviously knowing you, but we did like you were doing this like tasting things where you went in and you could try all these different oils, and I couldn't get over, like, it really was like a wine tasting where you could have like all these different. Like some of them were truly like spicy, and there was no spice in them. It's just that's what the olive was. It was
so like in wine we have varietals.
Yeah.
In the olive oil we call them cultivars.
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 All right. Yeah.
So-
Everything sounds better in olive oil. That's it, basically. That's it.
And I'm just rolling the R's.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? All right. All right. Very
And
good.
there's about 2,000 of them in the world with their own profiles and characteristics and
Right.
sensory.
2,000.
And you've become completely. You really have become obsessed with this.
Yeah.
He's gone like full geek with this. Like when we talk about, when I say like everyone geeks out about something, Phil is like a perfect example of that. As somebody who's, as a musician, as a technician, I guess, from the technical side of creating studios and stuff. He's like, screw this, I want to go to Italy. He's spent a lot of time in Italy recently, getting a nice tan. As you can tell, this is the slug of Toronto.
It's called stress.
And then there's the stress tan. The stress tan right there. And is now like wants you basically, that's what you'd like to focus on.
Just olive oil.
Olive groves. And you work with Yale? You're talking about some Yale?
Yeah, we did some work with Yale,
He's
University.
such a name dropper. Like, oh yeah, Yale.
I didn't drop it, you dropped it.
Yeah. And well, I dropped it now, but he dropped it earlier.
No, I didn't drop it.
Yeah.
You just read it somewhere.
I've been talking with Yale about a project that they're
No,
doing.
a really good friend of mine is actually right now doing the Yale Olive Oil Symposium in Spain, and it's a 3rd annual one.
So, wait a sec, the Yale
Olive Oil Symposium.
Oh yeah, that's the first. Tell me, like, I don't know if anyone's heard of that.
And I was hoping to attend, but it was too close to harvest, and I couldn't time it.
Oh my god!
So I didn't go.
Like, you could be like, would you be like a speaker? Would you go and like talk about?
I wasn't invited to speak, but I definitely would have gone.
You gotta get invited to speak. Then they pay for you to go and stuff. It's like
Next
a
year.
sci-fi convention
The
thing.
4th
You go.
annual.
Yeah. Also, yeah. And what you're saying? The travel basically in Europe is back to basically normal.
Within Europe, it seemed basically. I mean, I'm not sure after with the new variant, but
Right.
when I was there right now, it was like business as usual.
Did
You
they-
wear your mask, but it was
Yeah.
pretty
stupid, damn COVID stuff. It could be like, it's I just all right. So I just love the idea of like that you just like travel around visiting groves and trying this, trying that. But you're doing that anyway.
That's the
basically.
fun part, but there's a lot of work to it too.
No, I know the work.
All we do, we just walk
no
around,
one
we
wants
eat
to-
sandwiches, we drink wine.
That's what it looked like in your documentary. That's what it looked like. It was
Well,
like,
that's
oh
really-
no, another glass of wine with people at a restaurant who are famous there, and everyone comes up and says hi. It looked like so much fun.
But everybody loves to eat and drink.
So what's the hard work, that part?
That's just really stress. I mean, okay, you know
Like
what?
weather stress? Like
Yeah, first of all, it's one big thing about olive oil that's really stressful for me anyways, and for a lot of producers, is that with wine, you can rectify it afterwards. You can harvest, but then you can add acidity.
do a blend.
You can change it.
Ah.
Olive oil, you get one shot.
Huh.
And there's a million things that can go wrong with it. So what's become and I actually filmed a little bit, it becomes really fun, is the very first test that we do, the very first extraction, and the level of tension.
Oh, really?
Because once you hurt the olive, I'm going to call it hurt, once you broke the olives and started
Why would you hurt that all?
the extraction process,
Yeah.
it's reversible.
Right.
Wow.
So you're
So
done.
I have seen amazing people ruin a whole year of hard work in about 25 minutes.
By doing what? Like, what would they do? How
Anything.
could I do that if I were to visit?
I mean, we
By
were
accident,
doing,
of course.
this is actually, it was pretty interesting. When we were in Spain, there were some tests that were being run of the same olives from the same exact tree, the same producer, but that they were being extracted at 2 degrees Celsius different between them. 3 complete different oils. One was like, I'm not going to say garbage, but it was not good.
Right.
One was okay, and one was exceptional.
Wow.
2 to 3 degrees difference in the temperature
Of
when
the
you
olive being,
olive going into the machine.
yeah.
And what is the optimum then? What did you discover? Is it?
And that's another thing too, because there's a lot of cultivars, a lot of producers will become very, very good at working one type of cultivar. Because again, you can't rectify it after the fact. So you need to really get intimate with that olive and understand. I've seen producers that move from one region to the next that can produce an exceptional oil in one region. When they go to another region, they don't. They don't make the same. Yeah, I'm not going to say they're screwed up. They just don't have that quality. To me.
But it's just so funny to see it as to see this as like little separate groves. The idea of approaching it like wine to olive oil was completely unique to me. Like I'd never heard of that before.
Yeah, I think the main problem with olive oil as a whole is tradition over quality. Like we keep associating the romanticism of. And I mean, I'm from Italy, so we all have like family that brings over. Hey, I make olive oil.
And he rolls his R's. That's
we make olive oil. But the reality is that the problem is that making olive oil is easy, right?
right.
Because if you take any olives, you can mask them, you can have them wait there for 3 days, 4 days. They could be in a really crappy situation in the state. You'll put them through a mill. You're going to get oil.
Right.
And then because you made it, I'm like, oh my god, this is my oil. This is the
Look,
best
I put
oil.
a label on it.
That's like wine home brewing in the 70s.
It's like
right?
home brewing in the 70s.
Yeah, where it was like, I
had a
have
little
these
neighbor,
berries and I've just...
I had a neighbor who used to pick all of the grapes around our and then come in and give us these bottles of wine that were undrinkable. Like, he'd be like, thank you so much.
You don't go to somebody's house. Oh man, yeah, I make this amazing wine in my basement. You want to have something? Like, oh, please don't.
Yeah, please don't.
No, I'd really rather have...
If you continue the if you extend the comparison, no, you don't have to put...
No, I do have to. Yeah. No, even just for sound.
Just for sound.
Of it's like wine, are they eating olives and oiling olives?
Yeah.
Or
And
is
oiling
it all
olives.
the same kind of...
There's some cultivars, some varietals of olive that lend themselves to both.
Oh, okay.
To table olive and olive oil. Some of them that only do table olive, and some of them that just do olive oil.
Interesting. So this is just olive oil.
This is just these three cultivars are just olive oil olives. Yeah.
Oh, and could you answer an argument that Jane and I have all the time?
Sure.
Am I allowed to use this in cooking?
Yes.
Ha! In your face.
Heat, but not heat it.
Yes.
Right?
Well, I mean, okay. So the best.
No, I think we said
you're not allowed to waste it when you're making a bolognese. Is what my
No,
point.
that would
Okay, if you don't want to waste it, it's one thing. But so my only thing against cooking with it would be that because the flavor is so strong, and it may change the flavor of your food that you're cooking.
But that's what I want.
But if that's what you want, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But as far as a protection against heat, cooking, and health, you want to, because the reason that flavor is also that bitterness in the spice is because of the presence of polyphenols, which are antioxidants. So as you start heating the oil, obviously there's a chemical reaction that's changing the composition of that oil.
Right.
And the first line of defense against making that oil bad for you is the polyphenols.
Huh.
So they're going to go fight heat first. They're going to be the first thing that's going to burn off, let's say, before you even start affecting the quality of the oil. So in essence, you would want to cook for health purposes with the newest olive oil because it gives you the most protection against.
Well, and you get that flavor. Like I like.
And you get the flavor.
I like it for my
do it too.
eggs. I do for my eggs. I love the eggs with a really nice olive oil. It like elevates the eggs for me. Like all of a sudden, I'm no longer just having a.
But if you're
quick fried
burning
egg.
off the
She's not gonna let this one go, is she?
polyphenol,
Yeah.
then aren't you better using a neutral oil to cook with and then flavoring it afterwards with
Yes,
this?
for
and
sure.
then you're getting all of them
It's a bit more economic. Yeah, it's more economic, but a more neutral oil, a flatter oil, if you will, has also less polyphenols too.
Right.
So it gives
But
you
if
less
it's
protection.
just
But
about like keeping the pan
yeah,
greased.
All I heard
It's,
was David's right. That's all. That's all I heard.
and another thing too is like people worry about olive oil. Just say, oh, the smoke point, it's too low, it's bad for you.
Right.
But the reality is that deep frying temperature is it's 180 Celsius, and 376 Fahrenheit. If I'm doing the correction.
No idea what
And the smoke point of extra virgin olive oil, natural, unrefined, is about 191 Celsius. So you've got room.
So you don't want it to
deep
smoke. If it smokes, it's a bad sign.
Well, no. Sometimes the
Everything
smoke.
I cook ends up smoking.
Sometimes it could be the pot too. Like you don't know the smoke, but
Right. Okay.
the ideal is that you want to use fresher oil when you're
Yeah.
cooking. You don't want to reuse the same oil over and over.
Right.
But as far as the smoke point, and people thought, oh, I use canola oil. I mean, a lot of those oils with high smoke points are refined. Those are polyunsaturated oils that, in their normal, natural, unrefined state, have a very low, because they're polyunsaturated fatty acids, have a very low smoke point and very heat unstable.
So good for cooking, but not necessarily good for you.
But all the.
It'd be nice, like cold mozzarella and tomato salads. Oh no, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Delicious.
All of a sudden, I'll eat something that's green. I mean, it's like this stuff's ridiculous. Halo Infinite. I told you. This, me and my nerds. I don't know how you go to Halo Infinite from this. Although I guess maybe it's like
Infinite.
It's like a video game for your mouth. How's that? There you go. Okay, so Wish, I should let people know who this is. Can people buy this? They can't, can they?
It's sold out. I'm sorry. So this is like the worst thing that we can do. We're talking about it.
In your face, internet. Oh, I am currently taking offers for 2021s. Oh, I just spat all over it. Dude, that's gross. Look, I'm drooling talking about it. Really? Now I feel guilty.
Get your
Phil, why
orders
would you
in
make me do this?
after.
Nobody can even get
You made me do this.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
Poor Phil. Phil's like, I guess if you want to go live, you go. I was like, but I was like, this is like, I get excited about this because it's just like I love
our annual delivery.
Yeah, we
of
do.
our
Yeah,
prized 6 bottles that we don't give away anymore because
Well,
we like them too much.
But it's also just the whole thing. Like it's a kind of escape to the country thing where, you know, the idea that you just like you're like I want to go and like it was a bit like a kind of a midlife crisis or something. You're like I'm going and I'm far too young for a midlife crisis, right?
I don't know.
But like the kids are at school. You're like I'm gonna go and like you know get these groves going and like it really is. I was saying that he should do like a show about kind of like Escape to the Chateau or the Chateau or what is that one about?
Escape to the Chateau.
Escape to the Chateau or Big Little Farm, that kind of stuff. And he's done this great. You have to see it. There's a trailer for it that they can see, right? All right, I'll try to find links and stuff for you.
Obsessed with olive oil.
Obsessed with olive oil, and it really is. It was so funny because we were like,
YouTube, right?
It's on Vimeo right now. Yeah.
he sent it to us, and I was like, oh boy, another.
It's gonna go to YouTube.
It's like here comes another amateur wants to get into the film industry, and we watched it. And
But to my face, it was very nice. Like, oh, you should do this.
I'm exaggerating slightly. This is give me some. I'm not telling a story here. I'm weaving a tale here. But no, we were like, it was your first documentary though. You'd never done this before. No, exactly. So I was like, all right, I'm ready to give some notes, And we watched this thing, and I was like, I want to go to Italy and well, what I thought just hanging out and eat and drink basically. But
But we do that a lot.
Yeah, good. See, that's part of the job too, right?
Yeah.
Can you write that off?
I don't know.
You gotta figure it out.
I don't know.
I was like, James taught me apparently.
But
you just can't write
eating
everything.
and drinking is part of every day.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tammy.
Hi,
Tammy would love this stuff. Tammy is how's it for your teeth? Tammy is a dental hygienist.
Oh,
Yeah.
great question.
Although
She some good.
and she also kind of did the same thing, not with the olive oil, but with the dental stuff. She went back to school. She was like inspired to change her life and stuff. And I think this is kind of I love this because to me it's like the pig in the tractor that I want in England. Like it's like you're pursuing something that's I mean I think it's having seen the documentary, it's very watchable. And the more things that go wrong, the better the content, basically. But you were saying you're going to concentrate on the business, and then hopefully I'm going to talk you into doing this kind of stuff because I just wanted to show Phil how easy it was to sort of hop on and have a conversation that we're having basically anyways. And see how you can sort of interact with people online. So people will pop. You'll see little chats will pop up. I think if I scroll up, there you go. So you can see. So I told you a lot of Atlantis. There'll be a lot of Stargate stuff as well. It's like, what's the olive oil on Atlantis like? Oh my gosh, drooling right now. There you go. See, Tammy's already drooling over it. And the beautiful thing is, Tammy, you can't have any because I've just we just bought it. We just bought it. How many more do you have to deliver?
I think I'm done. Almost done.
That's it.
Yeah.
This is the last one right here. Let me just put it up right up there so everyone can see just how nice.
That beautiful label.
And the bottle. Who designed the bottle, by the way?
Combines the musical notes with the olives.
Oh. Look at you!
Yeah, so this bottle is my good friend Steve Haggy that we've been working together on labels forever. We used to do album covers together.
Oh my god, it is like an album cover.
And now we do the labels together.
That's so
He wants to focus
and
on
this year
faces.
Steve just went, it's like, I don't want to go somewhere really left. I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I really like it. And we tried it in black first, but then the white really popped. So we just went back to a white label.
But even that stuff, like you could be like you could hop on YouTube Live and go like, look at these labels. What do you think? And people will say, they say that they love my shirt. Which is what you really want. It's
So
like,
for
you
your
guys are bad
business,
about.
if you're rejuvenating abandoned groves, are you then training people? Bringing people in and training them how to care for those groves,
Yes.
and then sort of moving on to the next one, kind of thing.
So it's awesome that you asked that because that's the part that we're working on this year.
It's not fair though. She's an interviewer.
No. With the thought of as we take on more groves and it's going on, it's just forming them and helping them understand how to do it, and then hopefully they can also do those groves that they can take care of.
So they can help resuscitate the groves for you, and then they can go off and find their own
or
that.
we keep working together to just keep expanding. I mean, part of our goal too is like we're in Tuscany right now, but there's a big abandoned grove problem all over Europe.
Really?
And the thought of just going into Spain and different regions of Italy.
Okay.
And thus, abandoned grove is
in
And
the
thus
past-
abandoned grove.
Very
And
smart.
also because olive oil that we talked about the cultivars and the different
Yeah.
flavor profiles. There's some different flavor profiles, and
Right.
sometimes you want to have different oils to pair with different things.
Huh.
So do you only
So
make
this could
one
happen-
though? Like this is the one.
What the yeah, we can do 1 or 3. So this one here is a blend of 3 cultivars,
Okay.
Frantoio Lucchino and Moraiolo.
Okay.
But you can go. We've also done all 3 of them individually.
Oh.
So the Lucchino is softer, the Frantoio is more bitter, and the Moraiolo is a punch in the back of the throat as far as pepperiness.
Nice. I want the punch in the back of the throat.
Well,
That was,
we've got
yeah,
I
the
love
combo
that.
in
Yeah.
this one.
What was that?
We've got the combo.
No, I know.
in this
Because
one.
Yeah,
I'm surprised it's more of a punch. Because if I remember, I don't know what this year's like. I'm sure amazing because there's none left. But that was the thing I loved about it. Was it almost I didn't feel like I needed to pepper my food.
No,
It was peppered
and so
already.
this year is more. It's more present. It's more. There's more bitterness. There's more spice, and it's really balanced. It's very elegant this year as far as the balance of it all.
How do people? If people want to bug you about this, how do they bug you? What's the best way? Do you want to? I mean, is there like
What's
a?
your public?
Do you have do you have a public
You said
email or
Instagram.
something? or-
Yeah, I'm usually on Instagram.
Or Instagram.
So
What do you-
can
are
either go, at Abandoned Grove or at my name, Phil Bacchino with an F. I don't
Uh,
know if Phil spell it or not, but
all
I
right.
can't even spell my own name. at times.
I'm not even gonna try. I'm sticking with Phil.
FILBUCCHINO.
Yeah, FILBUCCHINO. Yeah,
I love how much you had to think about that.
I do.
Yeah, that's like me with my people ask me my postal code and I panic right away. Now.
Yeah, and also because like my
Yeah.
name is Phil with an F, and people are like, "Oh, Phil," but it's Philippe.
Oh, here we go. So
Right,
people are. Let's
yes.
see what people are
mad at me.
saying.
It's like, "You should spell it with a PH," and then I do it, and then a teacher's like, "Why are you calling it with a PH? It's with an F." And then they couldn't pronounce it. It's like, "Oh, Phil, you're trying to be an artist?" Like it's just like
Oh,
it's like a lose-lose.
yes.
The olive oil token is mine. That's funny because you were saying that people are talking about maybe creating some. They want. You were saying you wanted to save old groves, and you thought you might do that with like partial ownership through
Yeah.
blockchain stuff.
Totally.
Which is tech and food, which I can't. Basically, I don't think you can lose with. I'm wearing the same shirt that I wore. I know.
Then you will win. Not yes.
So if I visit Toronto, I can't trade maple syrup for olive oil. Sorry, Tammy. Nice try. I'd say nice label first. LOL. Oh, good. Any chance of pre-orders? Oh, look at pre-orders already.
Yes, we
Can you?
this year the pre-orders.
Just,
for
I want to be
20
very clear though. This is not an ad. This is my friend
No.
Phil, and if he could get some orders out of it, that's fantastic. But this is not like. Yeah, I just love this stuff, and we love this
And we
guy
do
and his family. So that's it. All right, sorry. Yeah,
So
sorry.
pre-orders.
Pre-order. Well, they'll launch not yet for
Mm.
2022 for the harvest 2022, which will be next fall.
But if people buy it, if people were to pre-order, do they pay now, or they pay when it comes out, or
We will.
does it
well,
help
if
to
you
have
want-
them pay first?
Yeah, I mean, usually we do it in pre-order, but
Yeah.
if you go to abandonedgrove.com and subscribe, then you get the notifications of when the
Yeah.
pre-orders will come out.
Ooh, and when you subscribe, do you get information about the Grove and everything as well?
You do.
Why am I not subscribed to that? Am I subscribed?
I'm doubly subscribed.
You subscribe for both of us?
Well, no, I mean I get it to both my emails.
You do? And I get nothing.
Doubly
You get
subscribed.
nothing.
Alright, so obviously my internet access is being censored by my wife, obviously. Well, look, Phil, I don't want to put you on the spot, and I know you've got things to do, but
I feel this question is going to be weird.
no, I was going to just say thank you. Like,
Oh.
no, because I think you want to go. I don't want to like.
No,
I
thank
feel-
you.
yeah.
This is awesome.
But so people, so definitely sign up for definitely at the very least sign up for the newsletter stuff because that sounds amazing. And if my wife had maybe included me, that would have been great. Because I'm going to do that. Does anyone have any quick questions? Let me see what we got. Hello to Lady Jane. Yeah, whatever. That's why my streams are so great. Why? Because of Jane? Damn it. Good to see you back. Great doing a burn and learn. Oh, I'm supposed to be exercising. But I did yoga. I did yoga today. You're a great salesman, David. And a good friend, yeah. Okay. Are you into cryptocurrency? I wonder if it's worth the time. Oh, John, don't even start us on that. That's a whole other, that's a slippery slope covered in olive oil. This is interesting and entertaining, says Michelle. Very good. Hello, good sirs. Hello to you, John. I saw something in here. Can people buy as olive oil? We've done that. Olive oil token. Yes, I think I've caught up. It'll be the new Bitcoin. There you go.
There you go.
It's backed by, this coin is backed by olive oil. All right. Okay. Well, look, I'm going to say goodbye to Phil and let him go because I've really put him on the spot here. And I thank you. I'm sorry. I don't mean
Thank you.
my friends are going to be terrified to show up now because they're like, oh God, what if he goes live again and starts like doing this whole hosting thing? But seriously, this stuff is amazing. So if you can get in early, I would definitely do it. If you want to pay in advance, by the sound of it, does that help? That does help.
Well,
You're saying it.
Once we only know once we look into the new harvest, and then we kind of try to understand what we're looking at.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And you are, and the documentary, and then you're also talking about possibly trying to do some kind of a series type thing of actually.
Yeah. We're in talks of that.
Maybe a Stargate nerd goes on an eating and drinking fest throughout Europe, perhaps. Just a pitch, just on the top of my head. And his wife, because that would be fun too. Anyways, look, all right, Phil, thank you very much. Please go check it out, Abandoned Grove. And also just Phil, like you gotta. The thing again, I think if it was just olive oil, I don't know that it would be as appealing. The fact of the matter is watching Phil discover olive oil and get his geek on with this stuff. Like the way he sort of goes down this rabbit hole is just so, it's just so much fun. And also as a musician, there's kind of this wonderful sort of almost like musical, lyrical kind of quality to his, to the way he tells his stories. So I really think you should check him out. All right, get out of here. I'll talk to you soon. I'm going to say goodbye to Phil, and we'll talk soon. So be safe, be kind, be brilliant. Till we geek again. Cheerio and huzzah! I'm going to now try to figure out how to hang up. I never know how to do this. Please talk amongst yourselves while I try to figure out, do I want to stop the streaming? I don't really want to, but I'm going to.